You know what? The one thing that I was disappointed we didn't do is try and catch the crabs. Really
Did you see the guy who did pull up a crab?
Yeah, you've got to. It's a big crab, man.
How many shoes have you been stolen by hyenas?
I've lost at least 7 pairs.
Yeah,
More than I've
one
lost so
flip
many.
flop.
Always one flip flop. Sometimes you find it months later.
I'm sure you could teach a seagull to open the fridge and bring you a beer.
I feel like we're going to lose half of our audience because of this conversation. They'll be like, this is a bunch of twats talking about bullshit.
I'm Tristan.
I'm Greg.
I'm Rea. This is wildly off track.
We've got producer Mark with us.
Hi guys.
Oh, yeah.
He's our.
Fact checker, keeping us in line slightly. Keeping us close to the track.
We haven't seen him in a while, actually.
Yeah.
We've all just spent the weekend away. To be honest, I think I'm actually a little bit sick of seeing you guys at this point.
We've been spending a bit of time together, but
Yeah.
we've been having fun though.
We've had a lot of
We
fun.
made
actually.
friends with some of the local wildlife down on the
You
coast.
made friends with the fisherman.
Yeah, you did make friends with the fisherman.
Dude, I mean, I must say, I miss a little bit of sport fishing. And whenever you go around the UK, I mean, there's not a lot of sport fishing going on.
Yeah.
So when we go to the coast, got to chat
I
to the
don't
fishermen.
think they were
Then
sports
can-
fishermen. So let me just paint the scene for our listeners. We all went down to Dartmouth over the weekend with your girlfriend, your wife, and me. Woohoo!
Fifth wheel.
And we were just, walking along on the coastline, well, through kind of the main town centre, and come up to the I don't know, the bank,
Pier.
the pier, yeah. And Greg sees there's like 7 or 8 fishermen just lined up. Not sporty looking, I must just add.
They're just trying to escape their wives.
Yeah, pretty much. And Greg instantly just goes, I want to talk to them.
Yeah, I mean,
And then just kind of, wheedles his way around, ends up talking to one of them. I don't think they're
used to getting spoken to by random people. But, however, we had a good conversation. He hadn't caught any fish. He was
think
trying to fish for bass, though, which was pretty fun.
You had a good conversation. Not really sure if the fisherman. In the beginning, he enjoyed the hello, how are you, what are you doing? And then after that, he seemed more. He's like,
He kind of kept pacing backwards and forwards, trying to get away from you.
Maybe I don't understand how to read human behavior very well. I couldn't tell. I thought he was fully engaged.
I think if you
enjoying.
used it in Zim, where you just have bots, you just have a full-on chat. Tell a complete stranger your whole history.
I think the only reason why he wasn't so keen was maybe because he hadn't caught any fish. So it was a bit embarrassing for the gentleman.
Well, you could have lied.
No,
Like all fishermen.
Yeah.
fishermen don't lie, they exaggerate. So it's not like you can't say I've caught nothing and say I've caught loads. Like that's a blatant lie. But if you've caught one that's a foot long, you'd say maybe it was a foot and a half. I mean, you've got all tall tales. I'm sure there's been tall tales. Have you ever done any fishing? Because you live on the river in Mount.
Yeah, I actually haven't done that much fishing actually now that I think about it. Yeah, did more when I was young. And yeah, after that, not really. The last time I fished as an adult was when we were all together on the boat on the Okavango Delta when we
A little bit of tiger fish.
Yeah, Greg also didn't do much fishing that whole trip.
Well, just teaching.
Yeah.
As a good fishing captain helps his fishing team catch fish. He doesn't have to catch fish himself.
He got showed up by his wife, though, quite badly.
That's true. That's true. Well, you win some, you lose most.
Greg, also, you made some friends with some seagulls.
Oh yeah, and the Dartmouth Seagull. So guys, I was absolutely stunned how much noise those guys make in the morning. Like it was a seagull
Alarm
party
clock.
the whole time. It was
Yeah.
amazing, and there's loads of them.
There's way too many.
They're herring gulls, right? That's the type of gull, or you just seagull.
Man. It's a white bird that looks like a seagull, makes a loud noise and poos everywhere. Did you see how
Must be
all
a
those
seagull.
houses just had a nice painting on the roof?
Yeah, the seagull
Every
painting.
single one.
And I think they're called herring gulls. I think.
Have I told you guys about my first seagull interaction?
No.
It was here in Bristol, probably day 2 that I was first time ever in England. And I remember walking towards the train station, and this guy had a hot dog or a pie in his hand, and the seagull swooped down, grabbed it straight out his hand.
whole thing.
And I burst out laughing. The dude looked at me. He also just laughed about it. It's like, we're not anywhere close to the sea. Just grabbed it straight out.
That's wild.
That was great. That is a core memory.
I would have loved to have seen somebody get robbed in Dartmouth, but I didn't see any robbery.
No.
There was no robbery, sadly.
No.
I mean, I guess there was no, chips and
People
tomato
probably
sauce.
don't feed them on the coast there. Yeah. And
I'm
it's
sure they're
I think
stealing.
They're very clever, though. Have you seen that video? There's one famous video of one of those seagulls. It must be in America, walking into like the store when the automatic doors open, walking in, grabbing a packet of chips, and then walking out. As the
That's
door
here.
closes.
That's in England.
Is that in England?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. They're so sneaky, dude.
Yeah, I'm not a
Amazing.
big fan of seagulls.
There's some cool little research on seagulls that I've recently come across where they talk about how they're watching.
Why
What's
do
wrong?
you know research on seagulls?
Well, they're flipping interesting, man. And that's all the wildlife that we've been able to see in the last, 2 weeks. So why
Okay,
not research the
All right,
seagulls?
what's your
I'm also going to
research?
try and research the squirrels.
What's the intelligence of seagulls? They seem to
Like,
be very intelligent.
Very intelligent.
Yeah,
I mean, they
very
even use
intelligent.
tools. They're kind of like crows,
Yes,
the
yeah.
corvids are very intelligent, but the crows are also, the corvids are very intelligent, but also the seagulls. There was some cool stuff looking at, they would observe people eating their chips, let's say, or their snacks, and paying attention to which type of container the chips were in. And then if there was things lying around, they would focus more on that type of container because it's almost like the fresh food that's been left lying around, and just observing people. And they actually rob certain people more than others. Dude, there's a very funny video you guys need to see. Producer Mark's got his hand up. Producer Mark, what do you need to tell us?
So there was an article I read recently from Exeter University. Shouting at seagulls could stop them eating your food.
Legit?
This sounds like an article that's right up your street, Greg.
Yeah, I want to read that. Really?
Yeah. I'm going to let you read it,
Oh,
and
what?
then you can talk
That's
about
wild.
it next
I
time.
think Tristan would be amazing at shouting at seagulls. You would go off
Shouting
your
at seagulls.
rails.
I've threatened seagulls multiple times. I've had a seagull steal a wrap out of my hand before.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
A whole wrap, dude.
Yeah,
Are they
yeah.
that
I was
strong?
walking through Bath and it just smashed into the back of my head, grabbed the wrap, then hit the floor, and then my mate chucked a water bottle at it.
And it took off and left the wrap.
Um,
Because I can't imagine they have
well, the
talents.
wrap was ruined, and I don't think the seagull flew again.
That's a sad ending to our story. But they've got webbed feet, so I can't imagine they would grab something with
But
their...
they use their beak.
Yeah, but can they carry a whole wrap?
Yeah,
Yeah, for sure.
What? That's
For
wild.
sure.
100%.
It's like baboons in Cape
Yeah.
Town.
Oh,
They watch.
Yeah,
I know.
even just baboons when you're in in the Zimbabwe, the border, Victoria
Yeah,
Falls
dude.
with Zambia. So the baboons, what they do is they typically, it's actually sometimes amazing what they can do. They will hide on the top of the trucks, and you walk past, and this baboon will literally just hand down from the truck, swipe the food out of your hand, and then keep on going.
I don't know if you guys have seen, there's a hilarious video online of baboons at the border post, the Zambezi border post with Zambia and Zimbabwe, where these baboons have figured out the brewery trucks that transport the beers across the border. There's a shot of a male and a female baboon on top of this brewery truck breaking into the six packs, and literally they've learned how to open the beers and hammering beers, bro. The next shot, this baboon is literally passed out, drunk, underneath the truck, and the oaks are talking Shona, so I kind of understand what they were talking, their local language from Zim, and they go, "Hey, baboon, baboon," and trying to poke it with a stick, and the oaks are properly drunk, hammered,
yes, yes.
can't even move.
You might wonder, just chase the baboon away. Baboons have enormous canines. They're not like monkeys that you might be used to. I would say baboon canine easily, what's this, 10 centimeters?
Maybe
pretty intimidating.
2 inches.
2 inches, yeah.
We'll
About
have to
2
get
inches.
producer Mark to fact check us on that one.
They're
Yeah.
also extremely sexist baboons.
Yes.
They do tend to be more aggressive towards women as opposed to men. They've learned that women
Yeah.
are a little bit easier to intimidate.
I mean,
Yeah.
to be fair, I'm fairly easily intimidated by a baboon.
They're the big males.
Really?
They're
big
big males.
males.
Yes,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, they're clever.
And I know from my mum, because my mum was a nurse, and she said that a lot of the time people who get attacked by animals, because they would see them at the hospital if it's wide range, from hippos, from predators. And the hardest thing with treating a baboon bite, if a hippo, it's a clean cut or right through you, or if it's an elephant or something else, if you survive that. But with a baboon, the problem is when they bite you, they don't just bite and let go, they rip out. So
Oh, no.
all that meat will be gone. They just pull out, and there's nothing to... It's harder to stitch up, harder to
I think we need to clarify for our listeners. Producer Mark's got a
He's in a very chatty mood today, isn't
he's
he?
fully involved today.
Male baboons have 3 to 5 centimetre of exposed canine.
Exposed,
So,
yeah.
for
So it's about
contact-
2 inches. Yeah.
Yeah, about 2
5
inches.
centimetres.
But, for a lion, 7 to 9 centimetres.
Wow.
So actually,
Just smaller than a lion.
it's smaller than a lion, but actually, for the size, I guess.
Yeah, they're
compared
pretty
to a lion,
big.
Yeah,
Pretty enormous.
yeah.
But I fear that we're providing the listeners with a really, really intensely horrific image of baboons. They're actually really nice, generally.
I think we should stand by this. Tourists come to Southern Africa and I see you guys running around with baboons like they're little furry pets. Nah, man,
Baboons
move
are great,
opposite direction.
It's interesting. I used to, from my junior secondary, I guess that's equivalent here to grade 7, grade 8 or something. I'm not sure what it's
When
called.
you're like 10, 12
7,
years old.
7,
12 years old.
No,
something.
older than that.
13.
Probably 13, 14 years old. Yeah, 13.
7, 8, yeah.
Yeah. So I used to walk home and would go along the river, see baboon troops almost every day. And the funny thing is, sometimes when you're just completely ignorant, I would just walk right through the troops. And perhaps because I was younger, smaller, they didn't do anything. I wouldn't do that now as an adult. And they didn't bark at me. They didn't chase me. I just walked right past them.
Interesting why you say you wouldn't do that as an adult. Why is that?
I wouldn't really do it as an adult. Well, one
Why?
thing is,
What do you think they're going to do to you?
besides disturbing them,
Yeah, that's fair. You don't want to
besides disturbing these baboons, and also now, as an adult, when I know that, man, the dominant male there, the size of his teeth, the canines there, I just walk around them.
Okay, yeah, fair. I mean, I don't think they're going to do anything to us unless they've learned that you've got food and they're going to be able to rob you. Like, that's the thing. Like, these baboons are clever. They learn.
Yeah.
But if you tell him bugger off and show aggression, he's not going to try his luck.
Proper wild baboons are pretty fine as well.
Yeah, they're chill. It's the Cape Tonians, the urban baboons.
Yeah, but these are
The Cape Tonians are the worst.
we're talking about seagulls in Dartmouth.
Yeah. I try to make friends with
You
one of
didn't
those
make
seagulls.
friends with a seagull.
Well, I mean, we got close. I feel like...
Greg followed a seagull from behind for about 30 meters and then tried to touch it and it flew away.
Dude, you're not giving me any credit. I think I got, from here to your coffee
You got
mug,
pretty close
half
to
a
it,
meter
yeah.
away. Yeah, I feel like if you're just friendly to the seagull...
But it was also moving away from you every time you got closer to it.
Because people like you traumatize the seagulls. You just got to be nice to them.
I don't think
very
the seagull wants you touching it, though.
Once you're giving it food,
Yeah.
I guess for a seagull, it's, like having an elephant walk up to you. If you have an elephant walking up behind you going, oh, I want to touch you, you're not going to be there like, hello, friend, please touch me.
You make a fair point. You make a fair point. So,
all right.
can't
So
make
that's
friends with
a traumatized fisherman, traumatized
Traumatized a
seagull.
seagull.
Yeah. great roundup to our time there.
I think you also traumatized some of the locals.
them. How?
We went on a little walk with everyone, and there was walked past one of the houses, and the door was slightly ajar.
Oh, no. You
And
shouldn't say
I
this
was
in
walking
public.
with Greg in a joking way, to be fair to him. Looks in the door just before we get up alongside and goes, ooh, it's open. Should we go in and have a look? And about 1 meter further forwards, there's a guy standing in the doorway that definitely heard everything we said. And Greg goes, hello, sir. And we just continue walking.
Well, it blows my mind that you can walk around spots in the UK and you can literally see into people's houses.
Yeah.
Like in Africa,
Yeah.
as you guys well know, like most properties have like big tall walls. You can't see into the garden, let alone see into the living room.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't
Yeah.
mean to look and sound like a creep, but it is quite intriguing to notice what people...
To be able to just look in their houses.
You can literally see into people's houses. It's bonkers.
And if you don't have a wall, you'll have a reed fence to block up for your privacy.
Yeah.
People enjoy their privacy. Once they go in, they don't want people staring in. But
People in the UK don't seem to worry too much about privacy.
no, nothing. I mean, the other day I was walking and I could see this guy had his projector up. He was second floor or something. He had his projector. He was watching TV. I don't know how people don't notice it. Other guys cooking there. There's where we stay. When I look out the window, there's, I think, a university student, and he's typically either doing homework or playing video games every day. And I always just watch him. Like, oh, he's back. He's playing video games.
He's back. It's like watching a reality show. It's like Big Brother, but a real Big Brother.
Yeah.
Oh gosh! Here in this house, so because the obviously the street's right there, we sometimes have a projector and we project a film onto the wall. And when I first came to the UK, my wife and our housemate decided to put on a program that weirdly was on public TV, but involved a lot of nudity. It was like a naked dating thing where you would like.
Is it Naked Attraction?
It might have been Naked
They
Attraction.
like raise
Yeah, it was Naked Attraction,
Yeah.
and it absolutely blew my mind how that was on public television. Like I was, because you would
on
never,
public
because you can
television?
see everything, bro, and it's a lot of
Yeah,
like
it's-
bits
doesn't
hanging
leave
out. Like,
literally nothing to the imagination. You see everything.
it was wild.
Naked Attraction's a TV show in the UK. You have one person who's trying to find their love. I don't know.
Yeah,
They're trying to find
yeah,
someone
find love.
to date or find love, I guess. And they'll have, I don't know how many booths it is, 5 to 7 booths with an individual in it. And it's a curtain that's slowly...
Potential partners.
Yeah, potential partners.
Yeah.
And the curtain will slowly raise up in 4 stages. The first one revealing their feet, I guess. Second one, genitalia. Second being like chest and boobs. And then finally the face. So
Like,
you
do
stare
kids-
at their bollocks for at least 20 minutes before you see their face. So you get to really, really examine your potential partners
wild.
before actually meeting them. And then towards the end of the show, you will also get the participant gets naked and they both stand there naked looking at each other.
Looking at each other. Well,
It's,
or everyone in the room.
No, just to put there like the person they've finally
just the one
chosen.
that- yeah.
So before even having a conversation, you're just sitting there staring at each other's.
I can't believe
Yeah,
that.
and it's
Yeah,
always
but they can't see each other.
Oh no, they can. Like
Okay.
so, the end, the person that they choose as their like final, like that's the one I find really attractive. Then the participant and that person stand there naked, looking at each other, and it's always really funny because they both try to just look each other in the eyes and then clearly checking out each other's
Genitalia.
Everything else.
genitalia, bits and bobs. I
So
guess.
talking about like privacy, we had that playing on the wall. This is like the first thing I ever watched
my
in the UK. And I'm like, people can just walk past on the street and just see into the living room. I'm like, guys, what if there's children playing on the street? Like, they were
Yeah.
like, oh, this is just what we do. I'm like, this is mad.
I was actually having this conversation with someone else here, how the nudity on TV here, and I'm not sure how much BTV, that's Botswana Television, the national broadcast in Botswana, how much you guys have seen. But when there's an action movie or any movie and people are about to kiss, when they are 1 meter away, it just suddenly cuts and then the scene resumes and you're like, what's happening?
Really? Do they cut out?
They cut it
any
out.
of that?
A kissing scene.
Even
There's
a
no
kissing
kissing
scene.
scene. It's cut out. Any type of romantic
What?
scene is cut out. But now the funny thing, go to news. Doesn't matter what time of the day news is, 7 o'clock, midday, 1 o'clock. And you watch the news, there's no warning for graphic footage. You just watch the news and you know those bombings which happen in war zones? Yeah, you're just going to watch a hand dismembered on national TV, midday lunch. No warning before. Decapitated head is just there. It's like, what the hell is this? But
I'm not gonna lie, I don't know what news source you're watching. I've never saw any decapitated heads.
no,
on
if they show,
Botswana
there's
TV.
nothing, there's no blurring, there's no censoring. And on the news, they
But
just
you
show
can't
everything.
see kisses on the movies,
No,
but you
it's
can
cut
see
out.
like...
Not blurred, it's cut out. And then it
That's
just goes
wild.
and then choop, cut out, resumes after.
It's quite sad, eh?
You enjoying your new lifestyle here, watching naked people on TV?
I don't want to comment.
Okay, all right,
no
fair
comment.
enough. He is.
Yeah. But that's how it is. I mean,
But I think that there's a
it's
massive.
more progressive.
Yeah, but
place.
there's, I don't know, but like even talking about like, the dismembering stuff, I find you, especially in Southern Africa, you're a lot more exposed to that kind of side of life than you are in the UK.
The more graphic side.
More graphic stuff.
Yeah, but like especially when it comes to death and that kind of stuff compared to like pornography. Like that kind of stuff's very like it's just big no over there. Whereas here, yeah, I mean it's literally on daytime TV.
Yeah.
What, as in nudity?
Yeah.
Nudity and
Yeah,
sexual
yeah.
things.
Yeah.
Whereas you won't, you don't really hear of the death and like you don't see pictures and stuff like that. Whereas in Botswana, you see photos of that stuff.
Yeah.
And it's there.
Of
Well,
videos.
I guess a lot of folks are quite used to, like, for example, slaughtering a cow, or
Yeah,
like it's
true.
part of their traditions
Yeah.
and culture. So blood and gore is kind of like just how,
Yeah,
how
and-
things are. Where we've been desensitized completely. I mean, sorry, that's the wrong phrasing. But we've become much more sensitive because it's not part of our lives. Like, when was the last time anyone from the UK, other than somebody who does it professionally, has ever seen blood? Like, people don't experience blood very often.
Actually, never thought of that.
Like, I mean,
Yeah.
for example, this blew my mind. When we were when we stopped over on our way to Dartmouth at that fuel station spot, and we saw the in the that was a weird place, by the way. There was a flipping gambling spot with some
At the filling station, yeah.
filling station.
Yeah.
But then we had the meat packaging area, and there was that piece of meat that was in a GPS tracking.
Oh, yeah. They had steak in a GPS tracked box. That was so
In
bizarre.
the shop.
So we on our way to Dartmouth, we went into a really huge service station, and it had absolutely everything. I've never been into a service station like that. I mean, I was
humongous.
stunned. There was like people coming to the restaurant in the service station just for a night out with the family. Like, it was mad. It's like, who goes to the service station for a night out? But there was like that little gambling corner.
I mean, it was,
like with the slot
big. It was bigger
machines.
than this living room.
Yeah, just the gambling corner.
Yeah.
There was no one in there though.
Yeah. There's like a whole food court. Like, I mean, it was. You could go there for like a solid few hours if you wanted to.
Or 24 hours, just gamble.
Yeah.
I mean, the strangest thing out of that whole experience there was the GPS tracked meat. I mean, Tristan, you showed me
steaks.
that. What was that all about?
I don't even know, man. It was. We went to, I don't know which one of the stores it was. Like, I mean, it was just a normal like convenience store in there, and there was meat for sale, like steaks.
Like, meat, yeah.
And one of them was in a little plastic box that said GPS tracked. I don't know if it's like a theft
The
deterrent.
photo had a satellite on
It was like
it.
200 grams of steak. It was like £4. What the hell? There was steaks next to it that weren't GPS tracked that cost more than it. I don't understand, like, why would you not steal those instead of, like, who's stealing the 200 gram steak? There's nothing there.
Oh, man.
Beef steak, huh? Like, maybe. I don't know.
But I mean, shoplifting here, I mean, how on earth? I mean, surely people can just like do it all day, every day. Because there's no security, there's no
I'm sure.
checkout.
Yeah.
To jump in, the GPS tracked steak.
Why is that?
So it actually means that the animal has been GPS tracked during its lifetime and where it's gone to end up on your shelf. So I think it's more about carbon footprint of air miles, transport miles of the actual beef product, rather than it being a security.
Yeah, but wait. Question,
why is it
producer Mark. Why is it in a massive like
Yeah, we have a
box,
photo
like
of
a
it.
physical
That box had a GPS tracker
that
in
is
it.
that is like security box. Like you probably needed a key to unlock the box.
You had to take it. It said it on the box there that you have to take it to the person.
I'm
to
sure I have a
remove
photo.
I took. We
I've got
took
a photo.
photos.
We all took a photo of it individually because we were so surprised by it. But like, surely tracking a piece of 200 gram steak with a satellite like isn't great for the environment. Like,
And then you send the security to come locate the steak.
Yeah, who's gonna go looking
that's
for a
such a
£5
waste
steak?
of time.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess one has to try and make their steak stand out from the other steaks in the store. And there's some consumers who might just be tricked into thinking that that particular GPS track steak is better than.
I'll just wait until we get
It's
GPS
like an
tracked
interesting.
broccoli. Oh, I went to the shops and I only bought GPS tracked products today.
Yeah.
What the?
But the human consumer is an odd one. Like you can market things in a very strange way, and people will buy it. So maybe it's just.
Well,
maybe
let's
you
talk to
find
our
that-
marketing executive.
Yeah, right. Do you think
Have to
we're-
rebrand a steak. That's it. There you go.
GPS track it.
track
Yeah.
steak.
GPS track.
Tracking a steak in Botswana. It was killed outside.
Yeah, it was outside the store.
Yeah. The butchery is right there. The cow walked straight past, and now it's in the shop. Welcome back, guys. To be honest, I really enjoyed my time in Dartmouth. You know what? The one thing that I was disappointed we didn't do is try and catch the crabs, like feed the crabs.
Yeah, of course. The crab catching.
Yeah. I think that would have been really
Did you see
fun.
the guy who did pull up a crab?
Yeah, you've got it. It's a big crab, man. And they
Wow.
weren't even bothered by it. Couldn't catch any fish. Caught a massive crab. It's like, oh, it's a crab.
You know what'd be quite fun to watch is a seagull versus a crab. Could have set that up.
I think a seagull would win, man. Surely the seagulls would win that battle.
no.
What
Yeah,
surprises
like
me though
big
with the
crabs are
crab,
cool.
like that fisherman, he had that humongous crab. No one catches them to eat, or
I don't know. I think there's just maybe that specific type of crab is just not that worth it because they're quite a hard thing to actually like. You don't get a lot of meat off a crab, really. Like a lot of
never
the
ate crab,
shell.
so-
You've never ate crab
Oh, it's
before.
really nice.
It's
You
pretty
just
good.
boil it.
But yeah, you can boil them. But I think some species of crab are better than others. And the
Okay,
guys
all
there,
right,
and they have
that's
to be
why,
quite
yeah.
a big crab to actually get enough to make it worth it.
bigger than okay.
You could have definitely eaten that crab.
Yeah, you could have, but would it have been worth it? Like, If
Well,
the
if you
guys
haven't caught any fish, then eat the crab. Like, what's the purpose of fishing?
well, no, these guys are not hunter-gatherers, by the way. They're just out there having a fishing expedition.
true,
Like, it's not like they're going out there for some food.
That's
like,
not their
they can
dinner
go and
plan.
buy the GPS steak at the store if they want to.
To be fair, we went to some really nice restaurants actually there.
Yeah.
With some really, really good food.
Flip, it was nice.
I think the best restaurant we went to, Rea nearly vetoed because it apparently looks too much like a restaurant in Gaborone, Botswana. Which we then got to as a complete seafood restaurant. Botswana's landlocked, by the way,
I meant
guys.
the look. Of course, not the menu.
Oh, yeah, with all the lovely pictures of the family out fishing in the ocean.
The
and
clams on the walls.
The seats was just a typical.
just the seats.
Just the seats.
To let people know, I wanted to go to a pub because we don't have any pubs in Botswana which look like the pubs like here. Bars back in Botswana are all open. There's nothing here. I really like the pub aesthetic.
You like the pubs, eh?
We've been in a pub the whole day drinking, just by the way, as well.
You had Ray that night to eat, hey?
First time to
Very
have Ray.
interesting. Like, you would think that
Very meaty.
Yeah.
Very meaty.
It looked really nice, actually.
Yeah. It was very meaty. Not at all what I thought.
Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, it was good.
Would you do it again?
I would, 100%. Yeah, it tasted good.
I really enjoy eating seafood. I don't know if
it's
it's because
amazing.
it feels very luxurious to me whenever we have some fish or something.
Yeah.
Good old fish and chips as well.
Oh, I had a lack of fish and chips.
Fish and chips is really great, actually.
It's really good, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know about it as a long-term feeding habit because I feel like
definitely not.
you might just cut off 10 years of your life eating fish and chips.
Plug your arteries up. Do you guys have any idea what the fish was that we ate in the fish and chips?
Cod or
Would it be
haddock,
cod?
most likely, yeah. I think they're the most common types.
You know what? I actually don't even know why I asked that. I don't know any sea fish. Means nothing to me.
Do you think the seagulls do any like hunting for themselves anymore?
Those urban seagulls are so good at scavenging now. Hey?
But they're just taking food from people mostly and bins. The bins, then they had
Yeah, people in bins.
Yeah, people get raided. Well, the thing is, you can leave your food waste outside for the recycling or whatever. And the seagulls we had what was that bag called?
Anti-seagull bin or something. Yeah.
But also, do you
A
notice
seagull sack or something.
Yeah, do you notice all the black bins around the town? They had like, what were they? They had just
Like for seagull proofing.
True. Like
kind of
like
curtains
flaps.
inside them.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I guess to protect seagulls flying in. But my thought with that was, but surely a seagull's just going to go inside and get stuck inside.
They're very clever. They probably
that's
worked it
heaven
out.
for them. Then they just sit there and everyone's
It's actually a good way to dispose of your rubbish. They should just cage up seagulls and you just throw your rubbish into seagulls.
Organic food. Just
Organic food, yeah.
And what are you going to do with the seagulls?
You just leave them in there.
Super overweight seagulls.
Yeah,
They'll love
it's your rubbish bin. They don't even have to
Animal
move. You
ethics.
just feed them.
I mean, people
Animal
probably
ethics. I bet you those seagulls would love that.
No,
To
they
be
would not. They can't
continuously
fly
fed,
around.
Just live in a bin where there's just organic food
Bro,
continuously.
that's what we do to chickens when we farm them. We put them in a little enclosed cage space and feed them continuously. Do you think the chicken's happy? No, you ain't.
How do you know that they're not?
Oof, are we going to get... I don't even know where to go with that. We're going to offend way too many people if we start talking about chickens that are
But have you
in
seen
little
some of the
cages.
pigeons as well? Some of the pigeons are so fat in the town centres
they're quite
here
happy.
that they can't even really fly.
Yeah, I mean, is it a happy pigeon or not? Like,
Well, if it was a pigeon that didn't want to be fat, it could do a lot more flying and go somewhere that wasn't being fed that much.
unlimited food is not the pathway to happiness. I mean, look
for
at for
For
humans.
you,
Yeah, but we're humans. For
for
animals,
you, baby.
What animals
what
are
else
just
do they do in their life? They just eat and reproduce.
yes. So if they're in a cage, they can't reproduce.
Now you tick the one box of eat. Of course, the seagull in the bin will have a mate there to be with. It's one seagull.
Well, okay,
then
so the herring girls, they're monogamous. They're made for life, right?
Yeah.
What if they don't like the other seagulls that are with them?
Well, we just find their mates, we take the couples, and we
And the
stick
couple.
them in rubbish
put them
bins.
in the rubbish
Okay,
bin.
and they can live for like 40 years. What about
Right,
40,
perfect.
40 years in a little
40
rubbish bin
years.
cage?
You don't even have to pay someone to come pick up the rubbish anymore.
yeah.
You're saving the economy money here, Greg.
We're supposed to be ethical friends of the wild animals.
This is ethical.
just use them as rubbish
They want to eat
collection.
the food. They get to eat the food. They have their partner next to them. Build
Okay.
them a little bedroom or something. They can reproduce.
Water like for the hamsters, where they just suckle from the
Guys, we're not
they
caging
only
the
get-
gulls.
they only get fizzy
There's
drinks.
no...
fizzy drinks.
Yeah. Coca-Cola addicted seagulls living in our trash cans.
Now you're just trying to wind me up.
We've been trying to wind you up the whole time.
Okay. So for a moment, I was like, you guys are serious about caging seagulls.
Seagulls in a bin, man.
Okay.
It's very unethical.
I wouldn't. There's many unethical things that you've done and do that.
They're fine just in a cage.
Okay. Well, I mean, we're not even supposed to feed wild animals typically, generally. I mean, there's no situation where we would want to feed a wild animal, right?
Right. I'll pose you this question then, right? Wild animals, don't feed them. So then why do we feed dogs and stuff? Because they were wild at one point.
Yeah, but domestic dogs, we've domesticated. They're not wild anymore. We don't go out there feeding the wolves and the... no.
But why not?
Well... where do we start with that? Like, if you blur the lines between a wild animal and humans that don't understand wild animals, where that misunderstanding interacts, what happens when you have a misunderstanding like that is you have dangerous situations. Like if you try and feed any wild animal and you don't know what you're doing, that can lead to wild animals being badly behaved.
Yeah.
Does that mean all zoo animals should just die of starvation now?
Well, they're not wild, Rea. They're in a zoo.
My point.
But most of them have been raised in a zoo. They're not domesticated, sure, but they've been raised. A lot of them, like if you were to go and capture an animal from the wild and put it in a cage, it's going to have to eat. Fair enough, feed it, but you're not going to go up to it with your hand and be like, "How's it?"
So my point being, what is the point of domestication anymore?
So domestication of species for our benefit, we've pretty much nailed it. Like there's no need for us to domesticate.
What's the purpose of it for us now? Why do we still have domesticated animals?
Well, firstly to eat.
And companionship.
We love dogs. Okay. We kind of love cats.
Yeah, so then why can't I get a pet seagull in my bin?
Well, is this
what's drawing the line there?
So are you creating suffering or well-being? So is the seagull going to be suffering or is it going to be having a good time? I would put my money on the fact that seagull would be suffering as opposed to.
So what if I gave that seagull a great cage, gave it everything it wanted?
But it can't fly, dude.
Oh no,
seagulls love to fly.
Okay, I'll just put a zapping collar on it so it can only go a certain distance from my house.
And to make a point,
it's not going to like that either.
People do that to dogs.
How are you guys arguing this?
Before dogs were domesticated, they had to hunt for food.
The dogs did.
The dogs did, yeah. And now dogs are domesticated. They don't hunt, we feed them. So why can't we domesticate seagulls? And then you know what? 50 generations from now, that seagull won't be doing anything. It'll be just reliant on us for food. And it's companionship, just like a dog.
Yeah, but we've already got dogs. So why do we need seagulls?
Yeah, but we're giving the seagulls a purpose. The dogs don't really have a purpose anymore.
But if you're looking for something to get rid of your food waste, feed it to your dogs. We don't need to go after... You would rather be a companion with a seagull.
Yeah, that's why we want to domesticate
Have you noticed that we don't have a lot of birds that are companions?
Parrots?
I said a lot of birds. So
we don't have... you got to create...
People have
a lot of dogs have been created into companionships. A lot of those breeds have been bred into existence by humans. So... let's start some new seagull varieties.
So I got some important differences here. You look at dogs, right? Dogs are pack animals. They're social. Like we know African wild dogs from back home. Very social. They like to be part of a team. They're a little pack. They create their pack with human companions. That's why dogs are so friendly with us, because they believe that we are part of their pack. You're going to struggle to find a seagull that's going to be the same.
Okay. Then.
Because seagulls are monogamous pairs, and you're not going to convince a seagull that you're its mate. So it's not going to be into that.
Cats generally aren't pack animals.
Yes, they're not.
So we're basically just going to have seagull cats.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to want that. And you're not going to be able to sell your tame seagulls to anyone. Nobody's going to want that. I'm
sure there's some listeners that are going to love a tame seagull.
They don't even look that good.
Like
they're going to
People have companionship crocodiles, alligators and stuff. So why not? And the thing is, right now, you believe, that's controversial to have a pet seagull. But what about 500 years ago? People were like, we shouldn't be having dogs. Dogs should be hunting. There's no dogs that hunt today. They just sit in your house. And people's dogs get bought clothes and all these stuff. What if 100 generations from now, I'll do the same with my seagull?
But Rea, so firstly...
Put boots on its feet. And then it stays warm in winter.
Okay.
I'd love to see a documentary like Rea's seagull teacher. My seagull teacher went Rea shot at the
Seagulls are clever. you could probably domesticate a seagull.
Yeah.
You could probably raise a seagull chick to be your mate. Guaranteed you could. But you're never going to make that a human-wide experience. Like, people are not going to be that into seagulls.
I reckon we could market it. Right?
People are into cats.
How
like
you
you
People
said.
are really into cats. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but cats you can snuggle with, and they like...
You could definitely snuggle a seagull.
A domesticated one.
Okay, well...
And you said they're highly intelligent. You could definitely, have a lot of fun with them.
You know what? I'm sure you could teach a seagull to open the fridge and bring you a beer.
How's he going to grip a bear? He just
With
has
his
a beak.
The same
we
way he
should-
steals your food.
Do you know what? Even better, pelicans. We domesticate pelicans, and they could bring you a 6-pack all at once.
I feel like we're going to lose half of our audience because of this conversation. They'll be like, this is a bunch of twats talking about bullshit. Like, can we talk about something useful?
This is highly useful. We're solving a problem.
Talking about the dogs, right? So you saw dogs not hunting. Think about the African dogs, our domestic dogs in Maun. Dude, those oaks are hunters extraordinaire. You see those oaks running around, they survive just fine. They go out there, they catch a hare. Like, hunting dogs are, all of Africa's dogs basically can survive on their own. Think about dingoes in Australia. Those were domesticated dogs. They just went back to being wild.
What's
So
your point?
the little,
what is
the
your
little,
point?
the little fluffy pooches that walk around Bristol, you give them enough time in the wild, they could figure out how to survive, I reckon.
Okay, yeah, but so what's your
They're
point?
going to die immediately. They're not going to be able to have an offspring.
I don't know, bro.
These
So,
dogs
Greg,
here.
If we're not to feed the dogs, if we're not to feed the seagulls, should I also get rid of the bird feeder full of seed in my back garden?
Oof, that's an interesting one. Well, the thing is, we've already taken away from wild animals so much. Let's say in the city, like these animals don't have access to as much as
Sounds like
they
bending
have.
the rules.
Sounds like he's on our side. He just doesn't
Yeah,
realise it yet.
I don't feed birds myself, but I can understand why people would want to feed the birds because it's the one little piece of nature that we have with us here in the city that brings us joy. Like people seeing birds out in their garden brings them joy, and they're happy.
Do you know what's a fun fact? Seagulls are birds.
Yeah, but
Bringing joy into your house now.
but how many people in the UK find joy from seagulls? Would you say, like, out of the population?
That's why we rebrand the seagull
Yeah.
and it becomes a domestic pet.
Yeah, people see them as vermin. We got to change that narrative. They have
Guys,
a use.
you got to find something exotic. Like, people don't just go around looking for the most obvious common thing.
That's why
People,
we sell them in Botswana. No one's ever seen a seagull there.
you
imagine
could
that.
take the seagulls to Botswana,
yeah.
though.
And they'll be dependent on us
I
because they
reckon-
don't have lots of sea water to be around.
Seagulls don't need seawater.
I don't know.
they can survive in fresh water.
Perfect.
Yeah, take
That's
some
the
seagulls to
market,
Gab.
domesticated
No, but
seagulls.
guys, we've already done alien invasive species. They're so clever. They're going to be like the Indian miners. You know those little starling-like birds that are running
Oh,
on
yes, but having
Botswana
a
like
husky in Botswana isn't an alien invasive species.
No, man, you're being ridiculous now. Because a husky is a domestic dog. I'm talking about it like an invasive wild
yeah,
animal.
but if we count it as a domestic bird, then it would be fine. We're
The
not letting them
seagull?
roll free. Yeah, they're going to be pets.
Yeah, it's a pet. This
So
is
it doesn't
after
matter.
we've already bred them.
This is 200
to be
years down the line.
domestic.
You're going to be
Yeah.
like those guys who took the Burmese pythons to the States and then just be like, I don't like my pet anymore. I'm going to release it into the Everglades. And then they eat all the alligators and become one of the most environmentally catastrophic
what we would
introductions
do
ever.
would
You're going to be the seagull guys. If we find that there's an invasive species of seagulls in Botswana, I know who it's going to be from, and it's going to be you guys. And on that fine note, because you're irritating me now, I think we need a cut. I need to breathe before you piss me off even more.
Anyways, me and Ray are going to start hatching a plan to domesticate our seagulls. I think Greg's going to go for a walk and calm down.
Yeah.
That was wildly off track.